Hi everyone, my name is Sunny and today's video will be about how do women see you. I have 4 piles you guys can choose from left to right. I have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4, and if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video and then select the pile or piles of your choice when you're ready. So I will go ahead and start with the first pile, so if you need more time, you're more than welcome to stop the video now. And I will start with you guys. Pile number 1, you guys have the Queen of Swords reverse. So how do women see you? So women see you as someone who's very in touch with their emotions, someone that when they speak with words of kindness, words of respect. I do think that you have a softer way of speaking, and it's not like you're someone that's going to be talking with people all the time, but I do think that when you do speak up, it's going to be reasonable words, sensible words. I do think that you can read the room well when you're talking with people, and I think you gravitate more towards being more respectful towards possibly women, but it's not all the time. I think that you're someone that does pick and choose their battles, so it's not like everyone's gonna treat you nice, especially women. Not all women are nice, right? But I do think that when you do speak, you speak to those that speak to you with respect as well, and I do think that you're someone that likes those boundaries. You kind of establish boundaries of privacy and people respect that, so it's commendable. I think that also that you are someone that's of short words. I think that's one short, yeah, a few words, short words, brief, to the point, but simple, and there's no misunderstandings when you have conversations. But I do think you tend to be more on the private time. You like your privacy, and people can pick that up. I think you're someone that's very intuitive when it comes to sorry, I had to turn on my fan. When it comes to basically talking with people and approaching them about sensitive topics. So I do think that you might also be nurturing, but maybe you might just keep that to yourself. I think that even when you do speak, it's not like you're always going to be perfect when it comes to talking, right? You have your Mercury retrogrades, you have miscommunications with people, and like conflicting transits, and even at that with your birth chart. So it's just more so that you tend to not want to put out negativity out, or if you do speak on those like not so great topics of life and stuff, I do think that you tend to be more self-critical about yourself. You keep your comments to yourself if it's not called for, right? You know when to shut up, and listening is important too. It's not just talking. So I think you're great at that, and people can pick that up. That's what women think about you. You're someone that is very well spoken, polite, kind, considerate, but even if you have something not so nice to say, you keep that to yourself because it's not helpful. So they respect that you know how to pull back when the time is needed. And I do think you pull back pretty frequently. I think you're someone that likes to be a little bit more on the quieter side and introverted, but you do speak a lot. You do speak a lot with your thinking. I do think that you think a lot frequently, and people can know that you have a lot to say, but you won't say it because it could be not that necessarily controversial, but it can be very honest maybe, and people might be like, huh, I didn't think this person would feel that way too, but you do. You are a normal being, a multifaceted being, but it just so happens that you don't need to always have the first say because you want the attention. I do think that you avoid that more so because it's just not your thing necessarily. It's not your personality to want to be like, I have something to say and it's going to be groundbreaking. I do think that you keep those comments to yourself. So that's what I have for you. That's how women think of you. You're someone that's a little bit more reserved too. So pile number 2, you guys have the High Priestess upright. So pile number 2, maybe I should drink some water. Women think of you as someone who's incredibly intellectual, someone that maybe analyzes a lot of things very detailed, and you can dissect so much with just minor things. Maybe you catch up on people's physical expressions or like movements, and you can automatically tell what kind of emotion they're giving off, or you can tell what's kind of going on because you pick up on those cues, or maybe what they do say, it's minimal, and you know how to dissect that into like multiple meanings and scenarios. And then once they speak up, or like how they conduct themselves in conversations, and even if it's not directly towards you, You know what's really going on inside. You're someone that's incredibly intuitive, and they know that you can read between the lines, which is a great asset, I think. Great investigative skills. And people know that maybe they might sometimes feel intimidated by that. And sometimes, from time to time, women can feel that. But they're not intimidated because you know what's going on. It's how well you read them. It's like scary accurate to them to know that someone's out there like looking at them and like already knowing what they're thinking about or what they're going to do next and stuff like that. So it's only scary to them to think about the unknown in that way, where it's like, how do you know? And like, I don't even know. It's like they're not people sometimes, the people that you're thinking about, that know what's really going on inside. I think you're someone that can pick up a lot. And maybe you kind of just reserve that until they ask, is when you're being more honest and like open about what's going on, and they're like, I never thought about it that way. Or, I knew what's going on, right, as an issue, but I can't, pinpoint it. It just feels like I'm going in circles. And you're someone that can automatically just pinpoint where is the start, where is the ending, what is, it feels like a sentence structure, I think, where you're like, this is the action, that's the verb, and that's the predicate, or that's the subject, and like it feels like this is the noun. Like, you just know how to really identify things and make it easier for them. I think you really can. Not that you dumb stuff down for people, but you're really good at dissecting that and putting it into easier words of comprehension. And people like that. People like that you are very, maybe also secretive about how much you know and acquire your information, or where you acquire it, how you come about it. And maybe you could be also someone that's into esoteric practices and spirituality, and someone that, dives into the occult, and that's interesting to them. Intimidating. Intimidating, but interesting. You have this mysterious aura quality to you, and people gravitate towards that. You are someone that kind of stands in I feel like you're in the middle of the black and white. You're someone that's neither yes or no. You're someone that likes to intuitively kind of feel out people and just let them know that they're it's okay to be in the silver linings, for example. So that's what I have for you. Pile number 2, very interesting. I don't usually think of pile number 2 as this kind of energy, but somehow a lot of you guys might be very into this phase of life right now, where you, or just your personality, where you're being very inquisitive about what other information can you acquire that's not like so basic, right? Or something that's different, very knowledgeable, very psychic, very special, like special in a way where where these qualities are taking you. And I think you follow your intuition and that gut feeling and that instinct. Your natural instincts kick in, and they lead you to very interesting places, or to people that you learn so much from as you go. So thank you, pile number 2. Pile number 3, you guys have the Fool upright. So pile number 3, how do women think of you? I do think they see you as someone who might be young and experienced and inexperienced. I sometimes don't say words properly, so forgive me for that. So with you guys, I do feel that you guys are, not that you are necessarily, but they pick up that you're more on the free side, free spirited, like someone that likes to enjoy the moment in time and not really think about the later and the consequences according to their perspective, right? And that applies also to the previous piles, that it could hint at that. Maybe you have some of those qualities, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's who you are wholly, right? But that's how they pick up from the other perspective. And maybe you can connect to that. But I do think there's a naivete to you. I can't say that word. There's a naivete to you because maybe you still need a little bit. Maybe because, example, you could have been someone that was shielded and protected from certain things, or experiencing just life. And now that you're kind of out and about, like, I left that, like, you broke the chains and, like, decided to go on your own kind of stuff. I'm ready to explore. It feels like that, where you're, like, still kind of starting. Not that they see you as necessarily down, but you're still kind of needing to pick up some experience, and, like, not dissecting, what's the word? I can't think of the word, it's a D word. But basically, discerning, there you go. Discerning people's actual motives, discerning what's really, in your best benefit, for example. And I do think they see you as someone who's got a free spirit, where you like to maybe wander around and like travel, or you're someone that likes to enjoy the parties that they're invited to, or someone that's always doing some activities and they're like having fun, and maybe you're alone and you're just having fun, or maybe you're with people and you're having fun. But you could be someone that enjoys having a good drink or two, or just enjoying to smoke some stuff every now and then. And they see you as someone who, maybe not that necessarily you're the life of the party, but I do think that you might enjoy those kinds of moments where you get to be more open about yourself and just go with the flow. Very much go in the flow, flow. And you are someone that likes to take initiatives to kind of explore maybe just what makes them feel happy, not so much what makes them feel like they're secure, but just happy in the moment. So that's how they see you. So it's a good quality. I do think they see you as someone who's happy-go-lucky. Even at that, that's the kind of temperament they're picking up. Something that makes them feel like they're not going to feel, I don't know why, but I feel like if women think of you, they don't think of you as someone who's gonna not intimidate them, but like not feel like they're threatened by you. Like if they bring you to, some people are like that, where they can be like, well, I don't want to bring you around my partner because I wouldn't feel comfortable. You don't give off that vibe. It just gives me very Piscean energy. It's like, they're fine, like whatever, they're just la 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 kind of thing. They're in their own world. It could be like that. You're someone that maybe is just, not that you're a mess, but it gives off that energy to them. And maybe that's just one moment in time that they kind of interact with you and they pick up that from you. But like your life could be a little bit more different, right? Not saying that you're completely different, but they just caught a glimpse of you when you're having a good time, when they see you socializing, and they just assume, oh, this person is just like a bit of a wanderer, someone who's just like maybe a freeloader, or someone who's just, living off the kindness of others, or maybe they're doing their own thing, but they're not really focusing on how to establish themselves and ground themselves. It can be like that. They're not very grounded. It can be those things. But I just feel like you are younger, so it's understandable, or you're still young for your age compared to your other peer groups of the phase of life you're starting out. It just feels like that. So thank you, pile number 3. Last but not least, pile number 4, you guys have the Judgment upright. So with this pile, sorry, I had to stare to make sure. I don't really consider this like too visual of like the nudity for the pictures, right? But they're gray. That's a suit. So with this pile, how do women see you? They see you as someone who's a bit of a trendsetter, or maybe just someone that's very influential, who has power over the groups of people that you surround yourselves with. Someone that possibly is very well known, maybe in your city or in your like local community that's like outside your city that's still kind of like bigger. They do see you as someone who might have interacted with a lot of groups of people, and then they become the it girl, or you become the it guy. So it feels like that, where they know that you kind of associate yourself with a lot of attention, and that's how they see you. Maybe they see you as someone that's attention grabbing because you're very not funky looking, but you don't look weird, but you have very interesting ways of expressing yourself with your personality, or someone that's got that star quality of like, you're unique, but you're still good looking, right? So I made it sound like you're weird. You're not weird, pile number 4. I just don't have the proper words always to say and describe something, but you get what I'm trying to say, where you could be someone that's very flamboyant, or someone that's flirtatious, or someone that is maybe sometimes conceited, or someone that likes to not be selfish, but more so have that attention on them. Like they don't mind the spotlight, but that's how it reads, where you feel like but it feels like they pick up those qualities from you. And maybe there can be sometimes from every now and then, there could be some jealousy or envy, because maybe they want to grab a little bit of that, but that they can't have that, right? So let me just take a sip of water. It's so dry. My throat's so dry. So with this pile, I feel that it feels very like I don't know why. It's just, it feels like popular guy, popular girl, and maybe they're like, oh yeah, of course they're the star, the show, and maybe they think that you receive a lot of compliments, or you actually do, because of your appearance, because of what you're doing, because you have the cool lifestyle that everybody wants to have, or because you have a very unique partner, good looking partner, or you have great looking kids, or you have a very unique job that like makes you like go travel and meet a lot of people, and then you become really popular within those groups. So it feels like there's some it factor from you that really stands out, and it's kind of hard not to you know to ignore. Basically, it's very hard to ignore. And I do think overall you you are just very Venusian. It just feels like something about your appearance just tends to stand out, and maybe you feel that it can be appraisal, but that appraisal sometimes can be sometimes disguised a little bit in judgment, like the card says. So that's how they're judging you. I think I even think that maybe the people that are thinking about you tend to have more judgmental tendencies than most people like care to admit. So I mean, everybody judges, right? But it's like they really like to stick to this you like just you. It's like they want to just pick at you, and like they want to talk about you, but they don't want to say why, right? In reality, they don't want to really say why they're kind of annoyed with you sometimes, but it's because you have a lot of attention, and attention, or the spotlight's on you, and it's always you, but it's because you're always doing something that is relevant or important or just unique that people just can't help but look. And there's nothing wrong with that sometimes, right? So that's how women see you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much, and please like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you enjoyed my readings. I really appreciate that, and it helps me with my channel, and I'll see you soon. So bye everyone.